an entitlement. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. So we were driving one time, I'm not saying you. We were driving one time, and we came up to a four-way stop, and I started slowing down, and she said, "What are you doing? Speed up, Susan, what are you doing?" And I said, "Mom, I think it's the law." No, gotta speed up. So we get to the four-way stop, and the other three cars all get there at about the same time, and she says, "Now what are you doing?" "The tie goes to you, Susan." And I said, "Mom, what the hell? Like, where did you learn how to drive? What's going on right now?" And she said, "You gotta go." And I said, "Mom, do the other three people in the intersection know your little driving technique? I'm pretty sure we're about to get T-boned." And so she's also not very good at dealing with life's big announcements. So when I came out to her, she said, "I'm not an ostrich with my head buried in the sand." Okay. And then I said to her, "So, Mom, I'm pregnant," and that's no small feat for a lesbian. And she said, "Pass the ketchup." So it came as a bit of a surprise to me when she called me a couple of years ago and said, "Susan, how long have you known about your brother?" And, we've been trying to get him to come out for years. And I said, "Mom, our whole lives. I mean, think about it. He's a white, middle-aged guy. He drives a BMW. He's a real estate developer. It's obvious." She said, "It wasn't obvious to me. Susan, a Republican!" How could this happen to me? How am I going to face the neighbors? What am I going to say to people? What's going on? What are we going to do? And I said, Mom, please. We may not understand his choices. But it's our job to accept and love him as best we can. But secretly, I was thinking, this might be my time to make my move in the family. As the Republican thing was decreasing his value. I thought perhaps my lesbian star was on the line. And I thought, this whole white male privilege versus socially responsible Democrat, the avid Republican versus fun-loving, wacky lesbian. I'm going to make my move. That's what I thought, yeah. So then there's my sister. Anybody get a Debbie Downer in their family? Yeah. Anybody sitting with one right now? So I try to give my sister a break, because she's got a long history of poor choices in men and substances and whatnot, but she's just so negative. We went to the beach one day, and we're walking along the boardwalk. It's 80 degrees, it's sunny, the birds are singing, the tide's out, and she turns to me, "Susan, did you read about the tragedy in the paper?" She talks like my mom. And every fiber of my being said, "Don't ask, don't ask, don't ask." Okay, what happened? Somebody put their eye out with a beach umbrella. And I said, "Seriously? Maybe later I'll get eaten by a shark. Wouldn't that just make your whole day?" So, and then there's then I said to her, "You want to hear a real tragedy? Our brother's a Republican." So then there's my daughter. Any millennials in the audience? So your trophy's waiting for you in the lobby. More importantly, any parents of millennials in the audience? Yes? Okay, we're forming a support group later. So I have a millennial, and of course I love her. I spent a lot of money to not talk to her. Maybe you have this experience. She has the latest, iPhone, and I call her on the phone. I know that's old-fashioned, but I call her on the phone, and I leave a message, and in my message I say, "Please call me." Right? She doesn't answer, but she will text me, "What do you want?" So I text her back, "I want you to answer the fucking phone, that's what I want." So we're going on vacation one time, and she sends me a text from the back seat. "Hi," smiley face emoji, and I say, "Hi, how you doing?" And a few minutes later, she sends me another text, "Want to chat?" And I spin around, yeah, I do want to chat. Why don't you hang up the fucking phone and we'll chat? is the moral of the story. So one time I was having a mammogram, and if you've ever had the displeasure, you walk in and they put your breasts on a glass plate, and then they ask you to hug the machine. And it's kind of an odd combination of Tai Chi and martial arts. And as you're standing there, and they squeeze your breast to within a milliliter of its life, and they say something really helpful like, "How was that?" And so I usually say something like, "Well, you could have bought me a drink." I was having an MRI one time, and I'm laying on the slab, and I've got my arm out, and the technician comes over, and she puts the IV in, and she says, "When the dye starts rushing through your system, you're going to feel like you're peeing, but you're really not." And I said, "I don't think you know me well enough to make that happen." So I was at the Burlington airport, and I go through the checkpoint, I go through TSA, and they pull me out of line, and they said, "Ma'am, there's a bulge in your groin." What is happening? And so I turn to the woman and I say, "Oh, yeah, that's right, my bad. The captain asked me to carry the flight recorder in my crotch." But honestly, I have no idea. I'm not packing anything. What is happening right now? She points over my shoulder, and inexplicably, there's a little black box right in my crotch. And she puts on the gloves. She starts doing this, running her hands up my inner thigh and up my crack and the whole 9 yards in front of everybody in the entire airport. Thankfully, it was Burlington, so it was 3 people. And then after she's done with this humiliating activity, she turns to me and says, "Do you want to do this in private?" And I say, "Pretty sure that ship has sailed." But a little small talk, some foreplay, situation. So we go to my brother's house, and we're still getting over the trauma of his republicanism. And we start playing apples to apples, which is kind of the clean version of Cards Against Humanity. And so he's the judge, and as the judge, you get an adjective, and the adjective is terrifying, and then everybody else gets a noun. So you might have the Eiffel Tower or watermelon or something else. And so we all throw our cards in, and he turns over the first card, and it's Hillary Clinton. And he says, "I'm good, I'm done." And we say, no, you gotta turn over all the cards, that's the way it works. And he says, "I'm the judge, I don't have to follow the rules." And we all turn on him and say, "White male privilege much, you fuck?" And he says, "No, I'm good, I'm sticking with Hillary Clinton." Now I ask you, what is more terrifying? Adolf Hitler, which was my card, 9/11, which was my mother's card, or Hillary Clinton? And he stuck with Hillary Clinton. So, I know. So we can't blame the Russians, but I am pretty sure it was a Republican conspiracy. And the only good news is that Hillary finally won something.